Am I the a-hole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? I don't even have to read the rest of this. I'm going to say no automatically. Listen, I've said it before. I worked in restaurants for 10 well, I worked in a restaurant for 10 years and customers, guests are the absolute worst. In my orientations, I used to say, people will say the guest is always right. No, the guest is wrong like 99.9% of the time. We just have to, be kind to them and whatever. So, already off the top, I'm like, listen, if you're treating wait staff, servers like crap, then I don't care how you feel if they pull a stunt like this on you. But anyway, we're going to get into it. So, I am a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's the shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So, sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. Let me tell you, that is so true. I'm sorry. I think everyone should work in the service industry because everyone should know what it's like to be yelled at by a random person for absolutely something that is not life threatening. Like, at all. Anyway. So I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like how sad it is to be a grown man taking your anger out on a high school and college kids. So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough. Oh my lord, this is another one. People would get so mad about the coffee not being hot enough. Like, it's brewed to like 165, bro. That's like hot. And you're only supposed to, I'm gonna have to look it up and I'm gonna post it on the screen, but you're only supposed to drink drinks that are less than like 130 degrees because it causes throat cancer. So you know what? Maybe I'm looking out for you. Did you ever think of that? No, you didn't. Anyway, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. Exactly. You brew it, the machine makes the decision, not me, okay? So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, so he said to the original poster, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard A, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack, like, "It isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting. And we've done it a couple times whenever a customer loses their temper at Danielle or I. James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time, the person who had come in angry will apologize and say they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize their actions actually might have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the a-hole for this joke? No. I 100% can say no. Okay? Again, everyone should work in the service industry. You do not yell. Not even just like service industry. You don't yell at people. Like, you don't yell at other humans. Okay? We should all treat each other how we want to be treated. And if you would never want to just be absolutely humiliated and laughed at and like yelled at in front of a bunch of other people, don't do it to other people. It's that simple. Have common courtesy and just be kind when you're out and about. Just because you're paying for the food doesn't mean you're paying to be a jerk. It's that simple. It's unfortunate that the culture is, nothing says that customers have to be nice, but they can't treat you like dirt. At the end of the day, some people, you have a bad day or whatever, and so maybe you're not talkative or you're very like quick answered or something with the server. Okay, that's one thing, but just to be outright disrespectful and yelling at people about things that you have no idea whether or not they have control over is just beyond me. I could have a whole series on things that I've had to talk to guests about because they found a problem with it, and it's like you literally have no understanding about how anything here works, otherwise you wouldn't be complaining to me about this in all reality. Not to mention these people are high schoolers and like it's one thing to yell at another adult, it's a whole nother thing to yell at like people who are still growing and developing. Like honestly, like how sad do you have to be to just go in somewhere and take your anger out on someone? I mean, I can't. So in this situation, in any situation where you put a guest into their place after acting like a jerk, I don't care. Like, you will never be the a-hole in my eyes. One of my favorite things I used to do as a manager, and it actually came from like the training, so it wasn't anything I just like made up or something, but whenever a guest would start yelling at me profusely and then start cussing at me, I would just kind of give it a second, especially since the restaurant I worked at was a family-friendly restaurant, so we don't need other people to hear this person yelling and screaming and cursing. I would give it a second. I'd be like, I am so sorry that you're frustrated and I really want to help you, but your profanity is getting in the way of that. Your profanity is getting in the way of me helping you. And let me tell you how quick people would backtrack on what they were doing. Well, anyway, go on. And then it'd be funny when they, like, if I did say that, my profanity is getting in the way of helping you. Well, I'm an adult. I can talk however I want. You can talk however you want, just not in the four walls of this restaurant. So, your choice, my guy. Anyway, what do y'all think? For those who haven't worked in the service industry, what do you think about this type of situation? I probably can guess off the top of my head that anyone who has worked with me in a restaurant agrees that this person's not being a jerk whatsoever. So